Heroes created by people's imagination live and commit their acts of bravery in our program, The Legend of Kazakhs. Legends are an invaluable cultural heritage passed down from generation to generation. For man, the majestic nature of Kazakhstan, with its vast expanses, mountain peaks reaching the sky, its vivid rivers and impassable forests, have always been enigmatic and mysterious. The natural world was unknown to them. In the imagination of the people, nature was inhabited with deities and spirits of surrounding nature, the masters of the mountains, forests, waters, passes and sources. The relationship between humans and spirits, the masters of the area, was seen as a partnership. They were sometimes revered by our ancestors. For the most important masters of the mountains, forests and waters, ancient people arranged sacrifices and ritual holidays. It was believed that well-being and prosperity depended on them. The beautiful plateau, located in the tract of the Jungar Alatau, enchants anyone who happens to be there. It seems that an unknown artist painted this unique landscape with majestic mountains and spread this bright flower carpet right at the foot of the mountains. Many stories and legends gave rise to a unique place, which we will tell you about in this program. Once upon a time, high up in the sky, among the floating and swirling white clouds, there met two spirits. One spirit was full of joy and warmth. He floated among the mountains, helping people, animals, and birds. Another spirit loved to live in the dark places. He was sad and sullen, and cold air always breezed out from him, and he was indifferent towards all the living things. And whenever the two spirits met, there always started a dispute. They argued this time as well. "I don't understand you in any way," grumbled the evil spirit. "Why do you spend so much energy on these insignificant things? What for? They are mean and they think only about how to fill their belly or to fill their coins jingling in their bosom." The kind spirit shook his head and said, "You shouldn't think this way. They can give their last piece of bread to the hungry. They are always ready to help the sick and infirm, and they have the heart and soul, which is full of love and warmth." "Ha ha ha," laughed the evil spirit. "I can't believe it. They feed the hungry to take a fee for food and shelter later, of course. And of course they care for the sick, so as not to lose an employee needed on the farm. And besides, they are fools and braggarts. I don't see any difference between a man and a beetle that digs his own hole in the ground." "You're wrong," explained the good spirit. "I know. I've seen the people who have been so kind and selfless. Go down, go close to them and watch them, and you will see their warmth." "Why do I need to do that?" Anyway, it will be a good argument for you. Once and for all, I will win this argument, and so you will never defy me." "Well," said the good spirit, smiling, "let's go down and look at these people." "No, we will test the man first and we will see, and then we will find out who is right." The two spirits turned into birds. They flew over the mountains and rivers until they saw in the distance a small village. Then they descended to the earth and took human form. Only the evil spirit turned into a beautiful, rich horseman sitting on a frisky horse, and the kind spirit turned into a poor man. They walked slowly and saw a girl. She was sitting beside a small, clean spring, and she was cleaning a large blackened kettle with sand. The travelers approached the girl and said hello. The girl turned to them, throwing her black braids into the air, and the spirit saw the gentle and sweet face of the still very young girl. The spirit started to admire her. Golden blush covered her cheeks. Her eyes sparkled like jewels under her long lashes, and the girl smiled and bowed her head in reverence. The evil spirit was glad. He will easily cope with this young beauty. Every girl wishes for a financial find like him, a beautiful and rich man. He corrected the velvet cap trimmed with a silver fox and said softly, "What is your name, beautiful girl?" "Korolai. My father gave me this name. I've traveled a long way, and I am very tired and weary from the road. Does your father have a little corner to sleep in his yurt? I won't stay in debt. Instead, I will generously bestow upon him," the horseman said, and he took out a bag of coins. "I have to ask my father, of course, because our yurt is small, but I'm sure we can find a place for a traveler and a good man such as yourself." The winning horseman threw his look to the beggar, and the beggar came up to the girl, leaning on his crutch. He spoke in a hoarse, painful voice. "Beautiful girl, would it be possible for me to find a place in your yurt as well? I've come a long way by foot, and I've completely worn out my boots. I've got no strength to go on, but I cannot pay your dad for the night. After all, I do not even have a single penny to my name." She shook her head and said, "Yes, the place we live in is ugly. There are no trees and no soft grass where a traveler can bow his head, and the clean water is only in a distant well, the way to which only is known to the locals, and wolves are scurrying at night. It's dangerous to sleep outside. However, our yurt is quite small." "Well, okay, I'll think about it." The girl frowned her thin eyebrows, and she looked down and thought. The travelers were waiting for her decision. Suddenly she turned to the young rich horseman, her eyes flashed, and she said, "We will be very happy if such a beautiful and rich horseman would be a guest in our house." The young man took a deep breath of air in his broad chest. "This is a victory, so quick and easy. However, in our yurt only one person can be accommodated," continued the girl. "And you, brave horseman, will find place in every yurt, and in every house you will be welcomed. But that poor old man wouldn't be welcomed everywhere, and that's why you should look further for a place to stay. Go to the dry tree," she waved her hand. "You'll see a few yurts there, and you can choose any yurt you wish. And I will run to my father and ask him to give a place to stay for this old man for the night. I will come back soon." The girl ran home to her father. The rich horseman was full of surprise, and he shook his head. When Korolai returned, it was obvious that she settled everything with her father. Everything turned out as she wanted. They took the old man back to her yurt, and the horseman stayed in a nearby yurt in a kind and welcoming family. The next morning, the spirits decided to test Korolai one more time. They tucked away and waited for Korolai to come out and to go and get some water. As soon as the girl came out of the house, the rich horseman saddled on his horse and raced in front of the girl, raising clouds of dust in the air. Korolai saw the golden coins falling out of the horseman's robe and scattering on the road. She waved her arms and shouted, but he couldn't hear her as he rode into the wind and disappeared behind the green hill. Korolai then picked up all the coins and put them in her belt. The day was coming to an end. The evil spirit exulted and grinned. "Well, that's it. The girl picked up the coins. I've won. Our dispute is over." "Let's wait," the good spirit replied. "The day is not yet over. The moon isn't even out." And only as the good spirit said these words, they saw the silhouette of a young girl running away. She was coming closer to the spirits, and they saw that it was Korolai, that she went to the neighbors looking for the horseman. The horseman came out and went to the tent. He saw the girl holding out the coins, It was exactly the same amount of coins that he had deliberately dropped. "Here you go, horseman. You've rode this morning on horseback, but you dropped the coins out of your coat. I couldn't come immediately because I was busy." "No," said the young man, shaking his head. "I will not take them. You found them, so now they are yours. Buy something for yourself, either beads or candy." "No, no," she cried, pulling away. "I cannot take such a gift, and my father would not understand this." "Well, I won't take them," the horseman said sharply. "I better to throw them into a fire than to take them." "Wait," cried Coralie. "I came up with something. If you do not need them and you do not want to take them back, well then, come on, let's give the coins to the beggar. They will certainly be useful to him." Absolutely vexed, the horseman and the evil spirit bit his lips, but Coralie didn't notice anything. She picked up the coins and joyfully ran to look for the old man. The evil spirit didn't give up. He knew that a human being was corrupt and despicable. This was just a cunning woman, and he could not catch her. And as soon as the first stars shone in the sky, the evil spirit turned into a hungry and ferocious wolf. The good spirit became a 3-year-old toddler. The spirits waited for Coralie to come out of the house, and they hid in waiting. And as soon as the spirits saw the girl and the wolf rushing to the crying child, they began to tear and bite at his clothes. And Coralie saw what was happening. Her heart stopped and froze in her chest. She screamed and grabbed at the large stones and began throwing it at the wolf. She struck the rock on the powerful jaw of the wolf, and the pain was excruciating. He began to whimper. The wolf jumped away and turned to the girl and stared her in the eyes. And in front of the girl's eyes, the child and the wolf turned into the spirits. "Yes, you were right," said the evil spirit. "People do in fact have a heart. It is hot and bold, kind and responsive. We have tested you, young girl," continued the spirit, "and you have kindness, honesty, and compassion. And you can even sacrifice your life for another person. I've begun to understand you people more and more. Yes, I will think about it. I want to give you this amazing mirror as a gift. It is clean and beautiful, smooth like the surface of a lake. You are going to look into it, and it will reflect your beautiful appearance. For many years it will serve you. Here, take it." The spirit gave the amazing mirror to the beautiful Coralie, the handle of which was decorated with precious stones. "And I," the good spirit said, "I want to give you a necklace. This will emphasize the brilliance of your eyes." And the spirit handed her a dazzling necklace of pearls and stones. "Thank you," said Coralie. "These gifts are wonderful, but I'll enjoy them alone. And I would like that you would just give them to our entire village." "What is it that you want?" the spirits asked. "I would like for you to turn this place into something beautiful, not like it is now in the steppe full of dry grass. If you would turn this mirror into a clear and transparent lake, then I would look into it whenever I braided my hair, and we would always have water. And if you could turn this necklace into the picturesque mountains that would protect us from the strong winds of the steppe, it would be eternally beautiful." "Well," the spirit said, "your wish is our command." The evil spirit swung and threw the mirror that fell onto the ground, and it turned into a beautiful, crystal clear lake. The good spirit threw the necklace around the lake, and it formed white mountains. White boulders scattered across the valley, and they were covered with dark green carpet of lush grass and wildflowers. The valley was transformed, and it looked more beautiful, and it was impossible to take your eyes away from it. The enchanted Coralie gasped and clapped her hands. The spirits then disappeared into the sky. The top Alatau plateau is the land area of a striking beauty. The panorama of the Alatau consists of gorges, glaciers, and the underlying valley, which is really fascinating. This fantastic mountain system of the Alatau belongs to the Tian Shan mountain system. It consists of a number of high chains, which are divided into a series of ridges. We can say that this is a mountainous country in its own. The terraced terrain with a fairly extensive plateau is the result of winds and tectonic processes. The high plateau-like space, located on different levels, gives the external slopes expressive gradation. The unique natural conditions, favorable climate, and a significant attraction of the mountains and landscape are complemented by the richness and variety of the flora. At the foot of the mountain step, mainly feathered grass and herbs change to the riot of colors and steppe cereals. The majestic Tian Shan spruce trees, which grow on the steppe slopes, are alternated with fir and spruce forests of dense areas. The sharply continental climate and a variety of landforms create a variety of habitats for animals and birds. This is the reason of identity and wealth of the flora in a relatively small area of the plateau. In summer, the air is filled with moisture in the mountains and the unique aroma of fir resin, raspberries, and black currants. June and August are the best months to visit these places, but it is necessary to closely monitor the weather. In the mountains, it is changeable. The blue glaciers covering the tops of the mountains, as well as snow and precipitation and groundwater feed the many rivers. But the true gem of the Alatau may be considered Jasulkol Lake, which is located high in the mountains, at a height of more than 1,000 meters. It is deep enough for high-altitude lakes, and it is almost 100 meters deep. The lake was formed as a result of an earthquake, when the collapse of rocks blocked the river channel, Aganakate. The lakeside is steep, in some places even sharply steep. The streams originated from the glaciers, and they flow into the lakes in multiple streams. So the river is very cold, but as soon as the glaciers stop melting with the cold weather, the water becomes crystal clear. This lake of melted snow was formed thousands of years ago, and it is still completely untouched by man. The Alatau is rich not only with beautiful pine forests, but also by a variety of species of animals. These animals are listed in the Red Book, but also they have historical and cultural heritage. If you travel here, you will get the great opportunity to enjoy the magical views of these picturesque mountains. Dragons are mentioned in traditions, myths, and legends of almost all the people of the world. But the dragon was paid special attention in Asia, and it was and remains a central character throughout mythology. The Kazakh culture is no exception to this rule. They also have echoes of ancient beliefs in dragons. If you think that dragons exist only in fairy tales, then you are wrong. In one of the highest mountain ranges in the world, in the Tian Shan Mountains, you can see an amazing natural wonder, a fossilized dragon. And the name of this mountain range is the Drakensberg Mountain. Many legends exist explaining the origin of this rock mass, and we will tell you about one of them.